Welcome to Chad's Silversmithing. Today I wanted to talk about a little technique called reticulation, and before we get too much into it, I'd like to thank you for watching, and if you enjoy this video, would you please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with others. And if you want notifications for when new videos come out, make sure to hit the bell button. The method I'm talking about today is reticulation, and it's an interesting way to add a texture to sterling silver. And it involves repeatedly bringing the silver close to the melting point until the mix of the two metals involved, sterling or fine silver and copper, which is what makes up sterling silver, the difference between their melting temperatures starts to cause some weird tension within the metal, and so the surface starts to wrinkle. So today I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so I found a little scrap piece of 18 gauge sterling silver, and I thought I'd use this as an example for the process of reticulation. A lot of people say you have to pickle in between each reheating, and I have not found that to be the case, but it could be that I just have never spent enough time pickling in between steps to see an improvement, but I tried it once a long time ago and it didn't seem to make much difference. So I usually do mine in just a series of reheats without pickling. So, as far as what I understand is happening is the copper and the silver that are mixed together to make sterling silver have different melting temperatures, and so you can actually get one to melt partially while the other one is solid, and so it does some weird things to the physics of the whole overall piece as it gradually separates them out a little bit from each other. So we'll just go ahead and do this. I usually heat the entire piece. It's going to look pretty ugly after we're done until we pickle it, and then when you pickle it at the end, it comes out looking pretty nice. So I'm getting it almost to the melting temperature where the surface starts to shimmer just a little bit. And pulling the heat back. Let's let it cool a little bit. Bring it up again. You start to see some little bumpiness to the surface here, and that's the beginning of that reticulation. It's interesting, I had actually stamped some circular patterns in the back of this piece of sheet, and I'm noticing that as I'm reticulating it, you can start to see the impressed patterns from the back showing through a little bit. I hadn't anticipated that. Now we're reaching the point where it's starting to get pretty wrinkly. You can see the wrinkles forming. Generally, the longer you do it, the the more pronounced the patterns will be, but there's probably a point at which your return will stop being any greater. This is pretty good so far, so I think I'm probably going to stop right there. But it provides a nice bumpy pattern to it. I'm going to go ahead and try and pry this off the pad so it doesn't stick too bad. And then toss it in the pickle. See, it bowed the sheet a little bit, but I can just flatten that out with a plastic hammer and a flat metal surface. So throw that in the pickle for a while. And here's a couple of examples of finished reticulation. This is, see if you can see that pretty well or not. I'll do it from both cameras here. Let's see, I don't know if you can see that or not. But it's got an interesting sort of veiny pattern almost. And it's cool because every one's a little bit different. It never comes out exactly the same. So it makes for kind of unique things. And I incorporate it into rings sometimes. They make great earrings, dangly earrings, if you just cut strips of it or squares. So there's a lot of different uses for it. And it just gives kind of a texture when you want something to kind of stand out from everything else. So if you like this tip, there's a whole list of tips up here that you might click on if you want to. But that's what I wanted to show you today. So that's reticulation, and I hope you found it useful and fun and enjoyable. And if you did, like the video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks. Happy silversmithing.